Tyshawn back into the mix, and this is as good of a starting five as there is in this league and maybe even in the country.
Inside, Robinson, count that, and one.
But back to that, the expectation shouldn't be too high just because they blew out Fort Hays State and Pitt State, but that's what everyone has to go on, so that's what's going to happen.
Loyola Marymount, where he averaged almost 11 points a game as a sophomore. And Young with a steal.
How about Kevin Young with a little spark off the bench? Hadn't seen a whole lot out of him over the first couple exhibition games, but an immediate impact for the transfer.
That'll make you feel welcome. You felt like in those first two exhibition games, Greg, that it moved for Kansas to have Pat Scarry go from Providence to Pittsburgh.
Yep, and he knows a lot about some of these guys, with Thomas Robinson and Nadir Tharp and Tyshawn Taylor. He talked about all three of those kids when he was recruiting the Big East, and watch out.
Robinson playing with 2 fouls.
Great job right there of sealing off, and then a perfect post feed led him right into the bucket, and Thomas Robinson.
Gums nowhere to go. Poked away by Taylor. Here comes Relaford. Look at Robinson run the court.
Second time we've seen him do that. Just the step through, full speed, nice body control. Good job by Travis Relaford. Very efficient night so far.
Good help by Wesley.
Uh-oh.
Poked away. Showtime.
I think the best athlete on the team, Elijah Johnson, with a nice overplayed defense.
Now the defense again. A wild three put up by Walden. Relaford throws it up for Robinson and an assist.
He was down there for a while. Good patience in transition. And Travis Relaford finds Thomas Robinson. Go to the monitor, so that is a judgment call. They make it and move on. There's probably going to be some mistakes because they now got to watch something else. Uh-oh. How about the defense by Kevin Young, playing the passing lanes, doing a great job early on here in the first half.
Oh, to be Young again. A half dozen for Kevin Young. High for Tien, his previous career high 9. He did that on 2 occasions.
There he is again.
Turned it down, and they got an easier shot. Good ball movement. Withy, nice pass inside to Robinson.
It wasn't quite there for Connor. He found Withy, and just a dump down to the cutting Robinson. Great unselfish.
Hey, Tien and Robinson combined. Oh, what a nice pass again.
And Coach Scarry's going to have to get a timeout. He didn't want to. The media timeout was coming up, but Kansas just putting it on.
I love the vision of Nadir Tharp, the way he saw Withy, and you got to give the 7-footer credit for running the court.
Exactly, Dave. Twice now in the last few minutes, he's done a nice job of running the floor, gathering himself.
KU hasn't had a field goal in about 3.5 minutes. They'll get one here. Will they ever?
Good job by Walden that time, not trying to do too much, allowing Thomas Robinson to get the dunk after the little chippiness a few minutes ago.
Rebound fought for. Robinson's got it. Leading the break. Oh, to Withy with the assist.
How about that? Nice awareness by Jeff Withy. Keep talking about it, but hey, you're a 7-footer running the floor. That's pretty impressive right there, but more impressive, Thomas Robinson running the break for this.
Walden showing an ability to get by the perimeter defenders. Taylor. Oh, hello.
Nice look ahead that time as Tyshawn Taylor leaks out. And like I talked about before, when you got Thomas Robinson, Jeff Withy, guys that can see ball like that.
Juniman. Oh, that was halfway down and back out again. Young. 13 for Kevin Young.
How about the night for the transfer from Loyola Marymount? Struggled in the first couple exhibition games. Bill
Collins. will give it up, and the Jayhawks will pull it out, and that'll do it. Good start to the year. Good start.
Well, like you said, Dave, 5 turnovers on the night. Great job of taking care of the ball. They took what they want. They were the aggressor. They were great on defense, and it was just an all-in-all a well-rounded.
And he doesn't get all those steals. He averages 3 steals a game. He doesn't get them from gambling. He gets them from just being in the right position and having great hands.
Robinson wriggling underneath for 2 and draws the foul. He'll go to the line. Thomas Robinson, the All-America candidate, already with 7 double-doubles on.
Their spacing wasn't particularly good, but they got into a high-low position and even got a decent shot by Withey.
Robinson, nifty spin, nice pass. Wesley with the dunk. Right, a big fella can give it up too.
Well, that might be as good of an assist as I've ever seen a big kid make. He had to know that the opening's going on.
Not the only player in the family. His sister, Caitlin, just signed. She's a point guard. She signed at Ohio State to play for the women's team. Tien up top. Yes, he goes into 3.
Well, he's been playing really well of late. Last 3 games, he's made 8 threes, this being his 9th in that stretch. And he's averaged
Possession you can have when you've got 2 freebies and don't get any. And that's when Kansas, if they get a bucket here, puts a real deficit for the Buckeyes.
And on cue, Johnson does that. Elijah Johnson, the junior, to bury that one. He has 6.
And Johnson had been.
Buford wants to shoot it. Left it way short. And on a run out, here's Young. And he'll stuff it down. He is long and he is quick to the goal. Charlie loves it. He may have found a wide receiver.
How about the adjustment he made when Lenzel Smith tried to take the ball?
With the score the way it is, can go in at the half and say, hey, we are really in good shape here. Now we just have to win 20 minutes if we can win this game.
Taylor swooping in, dumps the pass down. Great cut there by Young to clean it up.
Boy, Ravenel just got caught in the middle. Look at something to get William Buford going. His last 2 games, he is now 2 of 14 from the field.
Johnson left wide open for 3, and he knocks it down. Junior from Las Vegas on target.
That all started with the penetration. 2 sets of down screens there. He came off ready to shoot and just missed it. He usually doesn't make those.
Oh, that's a pretty shot by Johnson. Elijah Johnson. Nothing but net way out there.
You've got to switch that play when Johnson is as good a shooter.
Yeah, 17 and 12. The last 2 guys to do that here for a full season were Clyde Lovellette and Wilt Chamberlain.
Johnson swings it this time. Relaford's the open man, and he hits a 3. Travis Relaford with the bucket.
I think they can go to Withey inside a little bit more than they are, but he's got to stay away from that way low post.
Buford just 2 for 10 from the field today. Here's the slam by Robinson.
Now, Thomas kind of bailed out on that one. Thomas had a chance to draw the charge right there, and he slipped away from it, and that gave.
Thomas Robinson trying to take advantage of the freshman Amir Williams inside and out on the perimeter by slipping that ball screen.
Young, great dish underneath. Robinson with another stuff. But Young looked like for all the world he was going to shoot that thing.
That was the best, I think, overall possession that Kansas has had offensively. They took their time. They ran
here in a hostile environment without their best player. Young lines up a 3 ball and got it.
Kansas has done a pretty good job of getting a bucket when they have to get a bucket, when they need a bucket. They've not let with one to a 7, 8, 9-point lead. I think that's much to the credit of the Jayhawks.
Buford in the paint. Won't drop for him. And that will do it. There's the final horn. That's 47 straight non-conference home wins for Bill Self and Kansas as they knock off number 2 Ohio State. Highest ranked opponent they've beaten here since 2003. Kentucky and Indiana coming your way next. I'm Dave O'Brien for Jay Billis and Bob Knight, our entire crew. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. So long from Lawrence, Kansas, and now we turn it over to Dan Schulman.
Fighting Sioux score first in Lawrence. And sometimes for a team that hasn't played in an atmosphere like this, that's a little bit of nerves on that shot. And with authority, Robinson on the lob for Kansas's first bucket. And Troy Huff, though.
Look at how deep Taylor catches the outlet. That's excellent for a point guard. Catches it nearly half court to start the break.
Almost a replay, but set up from the opposite side. Another jam for Thomas Robinson, and Kansas takes their... Steps through the double, the trap. Allard, Goodman. Never found rim. Long outlet from Robinson. Feeds Taylor. He's got Young on the other side. Tough angle shot, and Taylor gets it to go and one. Floats it up short. Rebound Tehan. Outlet Taylor. Taylor reverses, scores, and is fouled. And again, Taylor, the degree of difficulty not quite as high. Howard only scored 13 points in the first half. The second straight game, Kansas has allowed only 13 points in the first half. Whitty, the lob finishes.
Third lob of the half for the Jayhawks.
Quick pass, touch back to Tehan. Johnson penetrated, kicks it out for the Taylor three. Well, we did see Johnson penetrate there, and the defense collapsed on him.
Well, I love it. He gets into the gap between the two. He's their most talented player there. He gets to the basket, finishes a tough layup.
Lob, and Robinson for the third time in this game slams one down.
That's a tough play to defend. It's a weak side.
Lindsey, by the way, a true freshman in California. Those 9 points for him the other night against Howard. His first points as a Jayhawk.
You'll see Tyshawn Taylor go flat and then flare screens on the wing.
Taylor floats it in. From beyond midcourt, short and right from Aaron Anderson. Right, the Jayhawks, after a slow beginning, have the lead, 37-20 by Robinson. He uses the dribble into the front court, then lost it in the lane, but Relaford comes up with it and scores. For 4 points so far. Taylor down the lane. Looked like he was going to stuff it, then some contact. The shot still went in, and he's fouled.
In the defense and then going to the jump hook.
Relaford looking, he has Robinson with him. The one hand jam. Well, you could see the eye contact, Miles, as they were headed.
Reading the defense. That time he faced up when he saw the double team coming and delivers it right to the offside.
Fourth assist for Robinson, who now the breakaway stuff. From all he's done, Relaford rebounds. Floated up. Robinson the jam. After the lob from Elijah Johnson.
Robinson does a great job of just hiding on that weak side when the penetration comes.
Into 10-3, beginning conference play Wednesday against Kansas State. North Dakota will drop to 5-8 and also drop their mascot, the Fighting Sioux, as of tomorrow. So it's over in Lawrence. And once again, our final score, Kansas wins it over North Dakota, 84-58. For Miles Simon and our entire ESPNU crew, I'm...
Cross-court pass. They swing it to Taylor. Look how quickly that ball moves for KU. Relaford again. Dimitri created that.
Terrific up fake that time by Travis Relaford. They're now in a zone. 3-2 zone. Short corner, elbows open.
Elijah Johnson. Oh my. He's only hitting 30% from three-point range this year.
Kansas, you got to think Thomas Robinson needs to touch the ball this time down the court. Almost another unforced turnover.
Relaford got it. Bill Self's team a 24-12 advantage on the glass. Wants them to finish this half strong.
as opposed to
Taylor. No one came to help.
terrible defense. Tyshawn Taylor has got
3 fouls, 12 minutes remaining. Tien, huge three for the Jayhawks.
He's been at 3.2 to 1 on assist to turnover. That's outstanding.
Robinson is back in, Reed. Tien, another huge three. Turn it over again. Relaford with a spin move and then missed the layup, but got his own rebound. Johnson again, Withey. Wow! Relaford, that's the answer.
Good screen.
Timeout.
A great back screen by Travis Relaford. Enriquez goes. He has 3 assists and 7 turnovers in this game.
Then he drives in. I don't know if that was a pass, but it worked like one. Wow. Blocked by Withey. Taylor. Robinson gives it up. Relaford. And the rebound to Johnson. They can just dribble it out now.
Final score, Kansas 67, Kansas State 49.
So much for the Achilles heel.
They may be vulnerable, but they were not tonight. Bill Self's team played an excellent basketball game here at home.
So once again, our final score, the Jayhawks win it 67.
Here is Cameron Clark. Dribbled it off his foot. Stolen by Tyshawn Taylor from the ground. He found Relaford in transition. He scores.
A really smooth move by Travis Relaford to avoid the charge. A little sidestep move right there, but
Kevin Young keeps it alive, though, and finds Relaford wide open. 3 goes down.
Travis Relaford playing with so much confidence right now.
Robinson back in the game, gave it up. Relaford answers with a 3.
Relaford with a little smile because Pledger popped him on the chest as he was in the act, and they're going back good-naturedly in that matchup.
Switch to the left hand.
Oh, nobody got back.
And that's the result. That will not make Lon Kruger happy. An easy dunk for Thomas.
Because that's what his strength is, attacking the rim.
Robinson attacks the rim on this side. Well, the game has picked up here in the last few minutes. The crowd has gotten more and more into it. Very intense. He's hung in there and had a good half. Johnson. Down low, Thomas Robinson against Washington. Spun right around him. Scores with the foul. Sooners run the half court here, and Osby just gives it away. Thomas Robinson showing some open court skills, and Robinson lays it in.
We talked about the improvement of Thomas Robinson, not just a brute inside. At that time, you saw some of that open court skill you talked about.
Behind the...
Well, that's the key right there. Kansas has dominated defensively. Lots of deflections.
The lob for Robinson, who finishes off the glass. Johnson gets the assist.
Lon Kruger knows they're in a timeout zone, so he's not going to waste one of the 4 he's got left. Hey, that's what Jeff Withey brings to this defense. He is a rim protector.
Travis Relaford over the top, finds Withey for the dunk.
Travis Relaford is enjoying basketball right now as a member of the Kansas Jayhawks.
He is the guy making it happen. Kansas down by 1 at the half, 14:47 to go, now up by 11.
And Johnson, watch the lob coming.
And here it is, Johnson finishes.
I mentioned in the first half that Kansas, when they attack zone, they're not going to live and die by the jump shot. They're going to get that ball to the rim somehow.
Withey in the middle of that zone. Good pass, and Teahan just passed up the open shot. Another lob, Robinson.
Well, and that's why he passed it up. Because the way they've attacked this zone from inside out, Connor Teahan could have gotten that 3 15 more seconds later in the possession.
Kansas ball. Tyshawn Taylor attacks baseline, elevates and scores. The athleticism of Tyshawn Taylor on display there.
I was just thinking as I was watching Thomas Robinson on the bench, and you look at Wesley out there and Young.
Game, how can we change? Here we are just 1 year later. Seems like everybody's adjusted.
Yeah, there's no question. And these 3 guys, these are 3 Final Four type officials, so they did a great job today, I thought, in a conference game.
Final seconds tick off the clock here from Norman. Kansas was down at half, but they come away with a road win in league and beat the Oklahoma Sooners. Final score 72-61. Coming up next on ESPNU, Notre Dame and 10th ranked Louisville. For all of us here from Norman, Fran Fraschilla and Dave Fleming saying so long. This has been an exclusive presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports.
I like the look. He gets the shot up before the double team could come from Robinson in that instance.
Relaford, this is a shot he didn't make it for a week. Travis Relaford, 6 of 10 from three-point range so far in the 3 Big 12 games. And 3 minutes Saturday in that game against Baylor here. Relaford, great look. And he's got double figures again. 10 points for Relaford, the 4th straight game he's been in double figures.
When we talked to Coach Self earlier today at practice.
Early turning that corner. Crockett can't get the follow. Young comes away and Kansas has numbers. Young with the move and the stuff. 79 dunks this year for the Kansas Jayhawks. They lead by double digits.
Great look away by Taylor to the weak side.
It must be technical. And Kansas has used that to get a 10-point lead. It might be more. Taylor drains the 3. Tyshawn Taylor, who has 1 for his last 9 coming in from three-point range, puts Kansas up by 13 in a lightning fashion.
And that's the facet of his game that he worked on the most this summer. Tyshawn Taylor, every possession, and that's what really caught my eye on why I thought he would be an All-American this year.
Withey, easy. Got Lewandowski on his hip, and the rest is history.
And sorry, Mitchell, those are those post angles we talk about that Danny Manning works with those post guys. Great seal by Withey. Excellent.
Blue Valley West High School for Donnie Campbell. Real good program in the Kansas City metro area.
Look at this great side-to-side ball movement action. Leads to a perfect dunk. Excellent ball reversal. Kansas Jayhawks putting on a clinic offensively here in the second half, whereas in the first half, Texas Tech had a lot more energy. You can tell these young guys.
But you got to learn how to play with your emotions. And if you give just a crack to the number 10 team in the country, they will blow you out like this.
Wow.
Elijah Johnson.
Impressive play by both guys. Thomas Robinson, the big guy handling the ball and able to deliver the pass off. You thought, I mean, people were talking about Xavier going to the Final Four in early December.
Young, Kansas runs that slip. Maybe as good as anybody in the country, and they get that side game going. Bill Self respects Billy Gillispie so much. He's got to be happy with the way his team responded after he was unhappy with the Kansas team, the way he responded. But you know what? Beating a friend like this isn't going to be Bill Self's idea of a good time.
Yeah, it's not easy when you have to play a guy that you're so close to and spend a lot of time with, who's worked for you. I know coaches in the country that will not play a friend or a guy that they formerly worked with. These two guys are in the same conference, so they have to do it. But much respect for both coaches.
Kansas was challenged early and they just ran away from Texas Tech. 81-40.
The third, misses the three. Multi-skilled, really multi-dimensional. Oh, Robinson from Taylor. He's my player of the year, man, mid-season. He's a man. He is.
Beware of the fog. This is one of the hardest places in America to play. An intimidating environment, and also great Kansas teams. That has a lot to do with that stat as well, of course.
Robinson again. They're allowing him to slide across that lane. That lane, I told you earlier, Dan, has a big gap in the foul line area.
Still a little rough around the edges offensively, so he said to his team, hey guys, if you can't score very easily, you may as well play better defense.
Robinson with an up and under, and he's headed to the line. Too easily. Getting the ball into the gap areas too easily with that zone. See, they got to tighten up that 3-second area. I mean, there's a gap. You can put a truck in there.
Taylor for three.
He nailed 3 big ones. Saturday, they were down 12. Robinson, you can see his skills. He's the kind of guy, you look at that talent and you go, wow. They're still playing that man-to-man.
9-0 run for Baylor to take the lead.
Went the 9-0 run with the man-to-man.
There goes the 9-0 run. Elijah Johnson for three.
He's made himself into a solid player. That zone was an absolute dilemma for him.
Really kicked their intensity up. Look at that spin move by Robinson.
How impressive was that? How impressive was that?
Very good.
Doubling up on Robinson. He's got to learn to pass the ball in the post.
Relaford. Taylor from the wing. Got it.
Tell you what, he's elevating his game. Elevating his game.
Another jumper.
No jumpers, Dan. They got to utilize their size. Miller and them on the inside.
Good transition by Kansas, and Relaford's going to the line.
Kansas really getting out in the break. Making Scott Drew's kids pay by not getting back defensively and utilizing that perimeter jump shot. Shot crazy with that Baylor. Kansas has taken control late in this half.
Taylor for three.
He's feeling it. He's feeling it. He's coming right back from Saturday with a big performance. 17-0. Some trouble, baby. It could be trouble. 40-0 since November. Football, women's basketball, men's basketball. Will they be 41-0? Or will they leave here with an L?
Kansas ends the half of
scores this year for him.
And suddenly it's down to 6.
Well, that's what the 3 will do for you. They made 2 threes, Jackson and Hessler.
Relaford looking inside. Here comes Robinson flashing to the middle.
Take a look again. I've been telling you that all night, Dan. That is wide open. I mean, you could see that from the get-go. That 3 seconds.
Walton, excuse me, with a layup for Baylor.
Walton's been a little bit quiet here. Good attack to the rim that time.
KU running a lot of offense through Whitby as well. Give him an assist on the basket by Teahan.
Teahan can shoot the 3. Not shooting as well this year. They're playing aggressive basketball. The one thing you must do in playing against this team, out is a layup city. Great angle, 2-man game. They're putting a clinic on right now, Dan. The one thing you must do if you're playing Kansas, great ones can do that.
Nice pass.
What a great play. Are you serious? That went in. That went in, Holy Roll. I cannot believe that. Go get a report on that. How did that go in? Tough to come back and win when those babies are going in.
Kansas with a weave to run some time off the clock here. The clock is their ally right now.
It's been all Kansas from the end of that first half to now. All Kansas. Why not a little more? Little slam jam bam. Flip it up. Mr. Whitby is the beneficiary for losing here.
It'll be 2 o'clock Eastern time Saturday here on ESPN.
You have the quickness.
Taylor, speaking of quickness.
I mean, he's just putting a show on. He cannot believe how he can get to the rim. Now, I could see you beating one guy.
Juneman runs it down, forces a turnover. 5 seconds to go. The Kansas Jayhawks for the 6th consecutive time, beat a top 5 team on their home court, and they do it in convincing fashion tonight.
16 in a row. Last time they lost here was to Texas last year. All Kansas sending a message loud and clear. You want to be the Big 12 champ, you better be able to beat us on our floor.
Houston Belair. Relaford. Here's Elijah Johnson. Here's Tyshawn Taylor. And that was Thomas Robinson. Nice. Chased down by Elijah Johnson. Now Taylor.
I would call that from enigmatic to excellent. Yeah, that's pretty excellent right there. Justin Wesley in transition. You know, Kansas has 89 dunks. Now, that's 90.
Right.
That's 5 a game. I don't know if any teams will do that. Off the driving lane there.
Jonathan Holmes misses another. Here's Taylor quickly up and in.
Big time. That is big time work right there.
And Sheldon McClellan got a very short rest. He's going to from the corner for 3. No. Tipped. Elijah Johnson has it. So another miss for Texas now. They got it in 3. They now trail by 11.
That's what Kansas can do from you. Do to you.
Jacobin Brown with a little turnaround jumper. It is good. 41-29. Here's Taylor at the other end.
Wow. I tell you what, this young man is playing at a really, really high level, Vern. I mean, his decision-making is much improved. He's actually moving.
Great block by Withy. Here's Johnson. All the way up off the glass and good for Kansas. Pretty good pace right now.
Tremendous pace. Good activity both ways.
Into the corner, Teahan, his specialty. Robinson, his specialty. A rebound, a foul, and a free throw.
Big time. Good execution that time by both ends today.
Average of 6, he's got 13 today. Here's Taylor, strong, up and under. Robinson there, kind of a lucky bounce.
Fortunes does here. I would expect them to try to get it inside to Robinson or have penetration availability for Tyshawn Taylor.
To the floater, tipped. Robinson to the offensive board and slams it home. Kansas. High screen set by Robinson. Taylor got another one and a foul.
Big time shots by Johnson.
45 seconds to go. Back to Tyshawn Taylor. Robinson blocked. Rebound good. Withy got it.
Now, if you're Kansas, do you foul at 6 seconds or under? They don't want to.
Jacobin Brown in the corner. No. Rebound.
Well,
Game over.
He got a pretty good look at it too, Vern.
Kansas 69, Texas 66.
That's a pretty good ball game.
Yes, it was.
69-66 for Clark Kellogg, for Lundquist. Let's go back to Tracy Wilson.
5 team in the new rankings that came out today. Missouri, also of the Big 12, has jumped to number 2. Taylor will shoot the 3, and he has all 5 of the Jayhawk points here in the early going.
Now, one thing Taylor has to do that he does a little bit in the negative sense, Brent.
That's Relaford on the steal. Go ahead, back to
when he
Taylor.
gets started well, he relaxes a little bit. So he's had this great start. Let's see if he can maintain it.
The crowd.
One of the things that's involved in this situation right now where Kansas find themselves is too big a lead too early. This looks like it's going to be too easy. Defense at its best. Withy came across as LeBeau was making the move. Withy was in position. Now here he's got to look to score.
Relaford steps inside. There's Withy. Just what you wanted. Catch and go.
Catch it and go to the bucket. And when he caught the ball in the first of that sequence, he's got to make a little move to the middle and get the shot. And
the iron and tracking it down now is Elijah Johnson.
Bounce pass, Relaford rolls. That's what Self is looking for.
Johnson made a great move in the middle. He held up at the top of the...
Scored on that free throw. Finishing is Robinson.
Really good screen there. Made a situation, 2 offensive players with 1 defensive player between them.
Over to the corner, and Taylor. Taylor drains the 3. The Jayhawks with a lead.
Now this is where, when we were doing the guys, that Kansas came out and took another 3 to make it 4 for 19. Now this is where they're going to win the game.
And one.
Good fake to the inside. Quick spin back, strong enough.
Down low. They're going to be unstoppable down there. Misses 3, tap back. No, Robinson comes flying around 1. That's his best offensive rebound of the night. That was a big-time offensive rebound. Tommy Lasorda appreciated that move.
But you don't with the team than losing to them before.
So for the 5th time, the Jayhawks go 7-0 to start the Big 12 season. Another fine performance, but it was not easy. Thomas Robinson and Jeff Withey lead the comeback here in the second half. Up next, SportsCenter.
Robinson, your midseason pick as National Player of the Year, and there's the Big 12's leading shot blocker, Jeff Withey, with a rejection.
You know, Robinson scored on the other end. He struck
a big win over Marquette today. Missouri's blown a lot of people out. They blew Cal out in Kansas City as well. They have won at Baylor. Taylor again. 8 already for Taylor.
I mean, he has been scouted hard as a guy that's stationary. He's stationary, not active enough.
And Bill Self was a little bit concerned if they went zone to Missouri, would his team settle, or would Robinson fight to get inside like he did right there?
Right there, a little screen and roll. The oldest play in basketball. Teams have such a difficult time defending. Playing man-to-man. Trying to get a touch inside to Robinson. There it is. Trying to get it to Robinson.
Nice feed from Connor Tehan to set it up. KU back. Neither team is led by more than 7. There were 13 lead changes in the first half. Robinson goes and gets it and is fouled as well.
He should have such a big edge inside offensively on the glass with that physical.
Boy, he is playing with some determination here in the second half.
He's a different player. His mindset, you can see the aggressive play.
Withey the steal. Kansas looking for the lead. And they've got it.
Great jam. Get a TO right now. Frank Hague not happy at all. He is not a happy camper. Terrific.
Unbelievable noise again.
You know, the timeout by Frank Hague was big when it was struggling.
Robinson unstoppable here in the second half.
Just a matter of wanting the ball and utilizing his great hands, his tense.
Looking for Robinson inside. Relaford finds an open Tehan. Got it.
And that's what they want him on the floor to do. Make the 3, and as you said earlier, he's been slumping shooting the ball, but he's always been a capable shooter.
Robinson again.
He's 8 for 11 here in the second half.
Taylor to the baseline with a jam, and Kansas has its largest lead of the game.
So that inside-outside combination of Taylor and Robinson.
Robinson turns it over, and then Taylor with a great strip and steal on Rodriguez. Taylor, alley-oop to Robinson.
Taylor,
what a play by Taylor.
He's very good at seeing what's inside. Had a bad catch there.
And Southwell leaning into the defender, a little bit out of control. He's had trouble twice now.
This will be a lob.
And Withey with the easy dunk. Taylor, number 4 in the Big 12 in assists. He's got a couple already.
Kansas big kid by and bring the offense up a little bit off the baseline. But what Kansas State is getting by with is really good defense.
Oh, the alley-oop by Johnson this time to Robinson.
And that time.
Robinson putting it on the floor, spinning, trying to pass to Withey. Got it to him. And a three-point opportunity for Jeff Withey. From the corner. Kansas State can't hit anything. Johnson, alley-oop to Taylor. And the lead back to 12.
Taylor had great balance. That was a tremendous athletic play right there that he was able to.
He does, finding Spradling. Way off, though, with a 3. 3-on-1 for Kansas. Johnson, alley-oop. Taylor with the stop.
Boy, nobody does a better job than Kansas.
They get it over to Relaford. 2 Kansas State players hit the deck, and that leaves Robinson wide open underneath. And he stuffs it through.
I think Kansas State wants to be careful about it.
And Withey steps up with a huge block. And then Withey.
This is the lob.
On the other end. Oh, got a block on one end. And then comes back down the floor to the backcourt. But no, it wasn't a turnover. As Taylor with 1 on the timer hits a 3. Kansas back on top.
It looked like a push-off out there on top. That's a bucket that I don't think should have happened.
Taylor never had possession, so not a back. Shot clock at 8. Taylor for 3. Again, Tyshawn Taylor with the triple.
Nobody jumped him. Somebody just let him alone. Nearest defensive man, when that pass was given to Taylor, had to jump him right there and take the shot away.
Taylor puts it on the floor and takes it in, soaring to the rim and throwing it down.
Now that resulted with the 2 postmen.
Going to win at Bramlage Coliseum for the 22nd time in 24 tries. Jayhawks had a 10-point lead at half. Kansas State came back, took the lead. Tyshawn Taylor hit a couple of key threes. And Kansas wins its 21st game of the year, 23rd straight year with 21 wins or more, and they're now 11-2 in the Big 12, a half game up on Missouri.
Again, you brought it up a couple of times, Dave. I think that no one has had a better addition to their team anywhere in the country than Withey has been to Kansas. He just gives them so much more than they have had without him.
He was 1 block shy of a triple-double tonight as number 5 Kansas wins on the road at rival Kansas State 59.
Kansas State, but his teammates picked him up. First possession will be Kansas. Johnson underneath. Bill Self told me today one of the things they'd like to see tonight is get Elijah Johnson going offensively.
Well, as big smile from Johnson. He knows degree of difficulty on that.
The Big 12 win over Oklahoma.
Robinson might have got hit in the face. He's back on the other end. Oh, tough shot.
Tyshawn Taylor, let's see if Robinson stays in the game. He's just going to play on here.
Now, normally they'll stop play, but Tom,
that game.
Well, and coming off their win against Oklahoma, they won 65-47.
That's what Bill Self wants to see tonight. A 3 from Elijah Johnson. 14 of 48 from 3. Since the first time they played Texas Tech.
If they get Johnson and Teahan.
Dark had 12 against Kansas in Lubbock.
Had the ankle injury at Kansas State. Did not play much that second half.
Teahan says my turn.
Shooting practice right now. Texas Tech has to find a way. Either got one of the 3 players that had minutes last season.
And now John, little zone run and jump. They're going to go trap. The wings, and there's the dunk. He's been sniffing.
Taylor said, trap this because you can.
Not a relocated shooter if it's big to big, but
I don't mind the shot, though. It's only, free throw line.
Relaford Well, Tech went to the zone, and Kansas again, they're so good at moving the basketball crisply. That ball moves in and around, in on one side, out the other. Relaford ready to shoot it.
In a game against Oklahoma State. Look out.
That's when they put thunderstorm warnings at the bottom of the screen. A little better executed that time, a little 2-on-1 break. And the draw is right, and the matchups are right. They could have an unbelievable run and head to the Final Four.
Gentlemen, a three. He's got 7. He thinks it's the Hayes High shootout.
You know what I love? I loved his back pedal. He let it go, and he was.
I like Withey. What about the overall team improvement? Because there was some thought whether this Kansas team would be a top 15 team, not a top 5
well,
team.
You notice the talk after Davidson. Everybody's wondering what was going wrong, what was wrong with Kansas. But they're awfully good. They're one of the top teams in the country for good reason.
And Bill Self, his longtime assistant Billy Gillespie helped him at Tulsa and at Illinois. Tonight goes down as Kansas routs Texas Tech 83-50. For John Sundvold and our entire Big 12 crew, I'm Mitch Holtis. Tune in Wednesday, our next Big 12 Network basketball game, Bedlam, Oklahoma State and Oklahoma.
And Withey pulls it down. A&M coming up empty. Relaford, little Euro step, missed it. Loose ball, Johnson, and one. A major collision down low as Elijah Johnson went flying in. Middleton fouled him.
Well, Elijah Johnson, boy, has he been good, especially in Big 12 play. Loose ball basket.
Turner, Elston Turner at 39% from 3, able to bury it. Back the other way, quick bucket for Tyshawn Taylor. Middleton hurt himself the first game of the year, missed 7 games, and played a spell, and then missed 5 more. Johnson, oh, from deep with the shot clock winding down.
Tell you, if Elijah Johnson.
Middleton tried to find Turner. Relaford up ahead. Johnson to throw down, and Elijah's got a dozen. And how about this, Fran? We close in on halfway through the first half. Kansas by 4. They do not have a point from anyone in the front court.
How about that?
Robinson finds Withey. That was nice.
How about Thomas Robinson tonight? Does he have a field goal yet, John? He doesn't. 7 feet. He did not bite on either shot fake or up and under move.
Johnson gets another. Elijah Johnson, 18 first half points.
Boy, that is huge. Bill Self has been talking about Elijah Johnson all Big 12 season. He said he's a breakout game away. Every time he shoots it, I feel like it's going in, Self told us.
Going in a lot tonight.
Dives power forward. But I love this about him right there. That's improved.
Relaford tips it back out to Robinson. Withey and one. How about the big fella?
Jeff Withey keeps
gone 6 minutes 40 seconds without a field goal. Taylor is fouled and one. Goodness.
You know what they did? They forced him to his right hand. And that 8th Big 12 title is in reach.
Well, Bill Self knew that this would be a muddy affair, for lack of a better phrase. He knew it would be tough sledding. The Aggies hung around, but Kansas prevails 66-58. For Fran Fraschilla and our entire crew, I'm John Shambi. Kansas a win on the road. Now we send you to Santa Barbara and Long Beach State. Roxy Bernstein and Sean Farnham.
At the 17-minute mark in the locker room, the 7-footer for KU with a turned ankle. From the corner, 3-point specialist Connor Teahan. He's the 6th man for KU, Kevin Young. Screen set by Young. Beautiful. Wow, Rutherford picked him up. And as him
playing, I know they've still got some games left before the Big Ten championship is decided. They see Ohio State next week, but if I had to pick a team today, I might tip my hat towards the Spartans based on how well they played.
Connor Tehan, his second three of the ball game. Senior, sometime the senior, who is Phil Pressey's brother, and the son, of course, he is Paul Matthew Pressey Jr., his dad, on the staff at Cleveland, with his first basket. English.
You've got to stay focused and disciplined, but it's hard against a high-octane team like Missouri.
Johnson at the other end.
They're changing it up now defensively, Vern. They're going to...
This is Taylor. Tries to drive by, does. Johnson's spot up three. And a foul is called. As the basket went in, the foul is on Ratliff as Robinson hits the deck. In the air maneuver. And it's back to a 16-point margin. Mizzou has not won here in the last 12 trips. Kevin Young slams it home.
Nicely done by Tyshawn Taylor. Beautiful penetration under control.
Robinson and Taylor on the floor. Here's Johnson.
Not opposed to a good look at the three if you get one, and that's what they're trying to do.
There's the dish. Robinson. Oh, he went down hard.
And
he's fouled. He is perfect at the line today. And appears to...
You got to get good shots, and you need stops. They've done all of the above. Can they get a stop here?
10.1 to go in a tie game. It's Pressey guarded by Johnson. Takes it all the way. Blocked. Tip. Overtime. How fitting in the 267th game between... Defensively, Missouri has Pressey, English, Dixon, Denman, and Ratliff.
And Ratliff playing with the 4 fouls.
For 3. The first lead for KU since 6:15 remaining in the first.
Now Kansas, similar situation prior to the end of regulation. You go inside fairly quickly if you can.
Well, you mean like that?
Picture perfect. That's the inventory of... You think I care?
Kansas leads, 8.3 remaining.
You got to push it ahead and try to drive it and kick it. But you got to go faster than this.
3 to go. Robinson backs away. No shot. KU wins. The Jayhawks came from 19 down. For Clark Kellogg, Vern Lundquist saying so long from Lawrence, Kansas. Kansas wins it in overtime. This has been a presentation of CBS Sports on the road to the Final Four.
Frankly, I didn't think he tried to step on him at all.
Neither did I. In fact, Brown put his leg up in the air, and that's what he tripped over to start with.
And Withey comes off the sideline and sticks one in their face. That he has been one of the most improved players in the conference. Keaton doesn't want a second, so Young will finish. Keaton did not want to pick up his second foul. He pulled back away and let him have the breakout, and the Jayhawks lead it by 1.
I don't think Bill was really...
Here's Cobbins. And Steele, bad pass on the entry. Breakaway with a speed, Tyshawn Taylor. You have got to watch his breakout speed.
He's a great athlete. and with his minds to go, but Kansas has not been anywhere near dominant. Now we're going to see a little half-court trap, and they've got to be careful because this is where they're really good, just like that.
That's what you said.
I wouldn't want to half-court trap these guys. They're too quick. They get the ball up in the air on a lob pass very, very quickly. Half-court trap is going to play into their hands.
And Young finished at the rim. Here we go now.
2-3 zone. They're going to play a high-low against it. They'll work and work and work. And then if they've got to take the shot, they're going to make a bad shot here, and it goes in.
And he was working against the shot clock, Bob. He had to throw it up. It wasn't bad. It was against the shot clock. I mean, he just had to throw it up from right there. I mean,
he's attuned to what's going on and what he needs to be doing. He's screening there, and he moves to the bucket.
And scores, kissing one in, draws the foul. Guerrero will quickly check in.
Now, what Robinson did there was come out a little bit, set a screen, and he immediately set himself up to drive inside. Guerrero is.
Johnson feeds Robinson, who was coming down the line. What great recognition by Elijah Johnson.
And the guy to help there was Guerrero, and that was about as big a mismatch as a tiger fighting a mouse. And came off a down screen, which gave him the time he needed and the ability to set his feet the way they have to be set to shoot well. They've just got to use that down screen with that kid.
Score it for Taylor and bring him to the line.
What we've been talking about, that's going to free him open.
18 points in his final game here at the IBA. Teahan answers. Hello. Just what you said.
Team. So he hasn't just been good in college. He's been good since kindergarten.
That's great. The Cowboys give it right back. Break out Relaford. There's that speed, coach, that you're talking about. You can't beat it.
When there's a mistake made, they really bust it down the floor. That was not a good pass. That was which he did. But again, it was that down screen with Page coming toward the ball and toward the middle of the court.
Now Relaford. Lob, and Robinson finishes. What a beautiful play. Relaford knew all the way what he was going to do.
Well, you're absolutely right about that. And they are.
And Withy stays with it defensively. Outlet, hit Taylor, coming in on Brown and finishes. Oh, my.
And that was quick from catch to dunk. That's about as quick as you can go.
With emphasis. But the Jayhawks are going to win the war, 70-58. 8 consecutive championships for Coach Bill Self and the Kansas Jayhawks.
That says a lot for what kind of basketball Kansas puts on the floor.
And you know, the first picture he's going to show in the film session is Withy tossing the ball out of bounds on the front end of a one-on-one. Jeff with a big smile on his face. And once again, the final score, 70-58. Jayhawks win it. Coming up.
The Jayhawks. Robinson, catch it right baseline, gives it off to Withy, and that is a wonderful read by Robinson.
A really good fake. The fake lifted the defensive man up.
Johnson.
Wide open three. Beautiful look for the young man from Cheyenne High School in Las Vegas.
Now this is where Kansas just does not want Texas to get another possession.
They're going to get one, though, even after the Robinson flush. 29 seconds to go. Barnes and Jacobin talk it up. Johnson shifts back. Teahan, open look. Three, yes. For the senior. And against Missouri, remember, Teahan was 4 of 4 shooting threes. And on his final home game, he rips the net with that one. Timeout. Out on the floor, getting back down defensively against Withy. Handoff, Robinson, and one. Foul by Holmes. No one, and
Robinson just thoroughly beat.
And Horns won't give it to him. So now it'll be Robinson spinning in the lane, coming back left hand, and one.
Well, Bond did a great job defensively there with people trying to drive the lane, but
shot clock running down, and Julian Lewis kicks it in, and that's 4 for him. Now it's 12 again, and Taylor burns the D again. If you're not ready, he'll get to the rim on you.
Nobody moved. Nobody in orange moved in the load.
Misses this three. Robinson's hands, and here comes Taylor. Last night, lob, and Rutherford finishes. Makes it a 10-point game. And that'll do it on senior night. The Jayhawks win again. And Bob Knight, your feeling is they've got to win now when they go to the Big 12 tournament, Texas.
I don't think there's any question. I think they've got to win too.
Once again, the final score, 73-63. Coming up next, SportsCenter.
It's much easier as an underdog to play against a small ball team like Missouri instead of a team like Kansas, which really executes in the half court and puts a lot of pressure on you inside. The pass from River to set it up for Robinson. Thomas Robinson averaging just under 18. He shoots 53%, pulls down 12. Taylor moves it across. Taylor played by Foster. Nice double pass. Robinson with the bucket, set up by Kevin Young, the junior out of Paris, California. Horizon League Conference Championship tournament that was just ridiculous. Whoa, Taylor right back, going glass. And the game is tied at 15. Evan Bruinsmouth has come out for the first time for Taylor resets. Taylor penetrating. Wow. Tyshawn Taylor out of hitting its speed and quickness to bother the Kansas guards. And now they're going to give them a little different look and play a zone. Nice pass. Young slipping it to Robinson to tie up the game. I'm guessing we won't see zone on the next possession for Kansas. Oh, the steal. Robinson took it away and went the distance. Little spurt here for Detroit. Ray McCallum wants a timeout. Danger time for the Titans. Jayhawks reset. Nice pass for Young. Fark with the assist. That was Kansas's best possession yet, or they moved it side to side. They made Detroit guard, and the Titans did a great job for about 30 seconds. First half, Detroit at 32%, only 9 of 28 from the field. Strong move, it counts, and the foul. Elijah Johnson will head to the line. How about the string? For Dick Vitale. Prior to the celebrated television career, you know, the home court for the Titans is now called Dick Vitale Court. Rutherford knocked out a three. And this is turning into a clinic. Just the ball movement. And that will wrap it. Jayhawks of Kansas with a 15-point victory. So they advance to the round of 32 for the 6th straight year. And they make a 10 win the last 11 games this season. A convincing performance by Kansas. Just methodical in their execution. After the first 10 minutes or so, when they finally got control of the ball, they did what Kansas always does, which is they got the ball inside. They relied on their guards in transition. Elijah Johnson missed his first 5 shots. Fires it out to Taylor. Here is Teahan for 3. Yes. Connor Teahan knocks down a 3. It brings Kansas within 6.
More of a Final Four club the last 2 years. So the frustration for this program and for Hummel in particular, with just an amazing resilience, the way he's come back and played so well this season.
Nadir Tharp has come on for Tyshawn Taylor. That is Tharp. Wow. Where did that come from? The freshman point guard, the backup to Tyshawn, the freshman from Chicago. Extends to a 7-point lead. Johnson, yes. That's a three-pointer for Elijah Johnson. That's his first field goal.
We also see Justin Wesley on the...
Not able to take advantage of the 1-and-1. Teahan with room for 3. Yes, that's his second from downtown. Three-pointers getting the Jayhawks back into it. The Purdue lead is 4.
Big shot there from Teahan. Robinson on the bench. Not a whole lot of half-court offense for Kansas. They needed that one in transition.
Oh, the steal! Elijah Johnson brings Kansas within 2. Timeout, Purdue.
Means is that Robinson is now on Tyrone Johnson, which is a really interesting matchup in itself.
Out of 3, 2, and here's Taylor ahead of the field. Tyshawn Taylor cuts it to a 4-point Purdue lead. Boilermakers have led, not able to finish. There's Elijah Johnson going all the way. Yes, and it counts. Jekyll, Robinson with the block. Kansas back in possession. Elijah Johnson for 3. Kansas with the lead for the first time tonight. It's the second seed Jayhawks of Kansas. Shot clock to 2. Here's third. Rutherford had it knocked away, but it's picked up. Oh, what a play! Elijah Johnson to Tyshawn Taylor to cut it to 1. And Matt Painter calling down to 5. Batted away, stolen by Elijah Johnson. Johnson to the rim. Kansas by 1. 23 seconds to go. And now Purdue calls for time. Down to 10. Hummel looking for the shot. Robinson is on it. Final seconds. And that could do it. 2.5 remaining. Well, they call timeout. They still have a shot. 2 and 5/10 seconds. Actually, he should have pulled it back.
He should have dribbled out the clock. Matt Painter has 1 timeout to go, so he third. And Kansas has to be aggressive. Don't worry about fouling. You have every right to this ball, just like Purdue does.
2.5 remaining. Well, they got a piece of it. And here's Smith. This is for the tie. And Kansas coming from 11 back, trailing most of the way, pulling it out. They defeat Purdue 63-60. Wow, what a game.
An escape for Kansas. You see Robbie Hummel's parents there, the pain on their faces. If I'm Matt Painter, I go home tomorrow and I say, we're retiring Robbie Hummel's number. 3-time All-Big Ten player, 2 ACLs, the resilience that he has shown in his career. He's basically an example for every Purdue player that comes to this program from here on out.
Kansas scoring 6 straight points the last 57 seconds to win it. They advance to the Sweet 16 for the 5th time.
Pain that comes with losing in the NCAA tournament.
So the Jayhawks of Kansas will go up against North Carolina State next Friday in St. Louis. Let's go to Craig and Bill Self.
He can gain deep position, and then it's just a matter of catching and turning and laying it in.
Robinson trying to get a piece of it. That counts in the foul. The foul by Rutherford, and he will just under 8 minutes remaining, first half. Oh, the steal by Robinson. Williams is back. Robinson all the way.
The talent has really taken over. Gottfried's done a great job of putting people in position to succeed.
Connor coming up short on a three, and then it's taken away. Good follow by Connor, and that counts, plus the foul. Connor missed it and then gave it up to Tyler Harris, making his first appearance tonight. Connor Teahan on the drive again. Wow.
We might only see 2 layups a month from Connor Teahan. We've seen 2 in the last few minutes here. And at the other end, he's doing a great rebounds.
Hader lost to Robinson with the steal. Leads Johnson. Elijah Johnson on the break. Here's Brown. Pass behind him. Could not handle. Back comes Taylor. Puts it in front of him. The lob from Tyshawn Taylor to Jeff Withey.
And give Taylor credit, Marv, because he's shooting 1 for 10 tonight. It clearly has not been.
And then Harris cannot hit. Rutherford with the spin. Oh, what a move. Travis Rutherford spinning his way.
And what a turn of events, because Harris, either way, Kansas just continues to bottle up the Wolfpack defensively.
Oh, Taylor. A little spin off glass by Tyshawn Taylor by North Carolina State. Here is one for 3. Back tap kept alive by Leslie. Leslie on the move. Leslie blocked. Rutherford able to get to it. Here comes Taylor. They have to foul, and Brown picks up the foul. And that puts North Carolina State over the limit. Backcourt.
I don't think Kansas will foul here, Orf, but that's always an option. But just very little time to make anything happen.
Pass intended for Wood, and it's Howell coming up short, and Kansas holds on for the victory over North Carolina State. The final, Kansas 60, NC State 57. And Kansas advances to the Elite Eight to face North Carolina Sunday. A game that will be seen on CBS. Kansas goes to 30-6.
You know, Ohio State has been the much more impressive team in the tournament offensively. And I think you see that rhythm and that pace that they've been playing with. Kansas, other than the Carolina game, has really struggled to score the ball.
That one circles the rim and drops for Rutherford.
Well, to your point, Steve, 41% shooting. And again, with Lenzel Smith Jr., Sullinger, Kraft, Thompson, and Buford. Perhaps a little staggered screen. Buford excellent coming off down screens and curling into his jump shot.
Now with 10 seconds to go in the half. Kraft taking on Taylor, driving in, and caught underneath. Midcourt with 2 seconds. Taylor inside, Rutherford in time. What a boost going to the locker room. Oh, they made it by a fraction.
Kraft went a little early on that drive.
And then somehow in the arms of Thomas. Sullinger backing him in, and what a block by Whitby. His best play of the night. His second block, and here comes Johnson driving in for 2.
Poor transition defense that time is nobody for Ohio State. Stop the ball.
Tyshawn Taylor's mother, Janelle.
Ohio State really misses the presence of Deshaun Thomas as a guy who's a perimeter shooter. Ravenel is a role player.
And Robinson makes it a 3-point game.
Big plays to keep Ohio State above water.
Well, it gives them a shot blocking presence to help out Sullinger defending Robinson.
That is Elijah Johnson hitting the 3-point jumper.
This is Kansas at its best, execution-wise, going into Robinson, spreading the floor. Game at Michigan State. I think you were there. He was amazing. Just took over that game offensively.
That is Teahan
Connor Tehan, who has a championship ring. He was a member of that 2008 Kansas title team. And that's the first bench points tonight from either team. Relaford down the floor, goes baseline and lays it in, down the one.
What a terrific move that was, to control the ball and then give a little pausing, parking, put him away move. My goodness, that was special there.
Travis Relaford makes the play that really forces Mata to call the timeout. With 7:42 to go in the game. Bounce pass to Solinger. What a block by Young. Kansas comes racing out with it. Johnson behind the back and hits the shot. Down to 2.
That was a beautiful move with the little crab dribble in the open court. He kept that dribble alive until he saw the lane open up.
Johnson with the 4
to go, and we're tied. Kansas up 1. We've had 3 lead changes in the last minute.
Kansas switching the crosses on the perimeter. Relaford matched up with Kraft.
Buford blocked by Withy. Johnson, no one cuts him off. Banks it in.
And I love the aggressiveness from Johnson.
Jayhawk. It's all coming down to this. Kraft. They're going to say he left too soon. A lane violation on the shooter. Pass to Kansas. Uncontested. They pull off the comeback. And the Jayhawks are moving on to Monday night. Ohio State wasn't ready for the ball to be inbounded.
They were not. They were still, as Steve just said, they were locked into what had happened on the prior call. The official put the ball in the hands of the Jayhawk inbounder, and that ended it.
A Kansas team that came back from 10 down against Purdue to make